Everybody, I'm Gustav with 101.9 KINK, and I'd like to welcome Britt and Alex to the stage here. Let's hear it for them. Britt and Alex from Spoon. First of all, how was the show last night at Pioneer Courthouse Square? How'd that go for you guys? Some of you were there, right?
It was kind of amazing to be able to be playing in that particular spot and looking up at those buildings, and it was just a beautiful night. Yeah.
Nice, nice. You guys are playing once again tonight, Pioneer Courthouse Square again for the second. Anyone going to the second show tonight as well? Awesome, front row. I'm always interested, anytime a band does two shows back to back like that, do you consciously try to change something up a little bit? Do you have different songs planned? How does that work exactly?
We'll switch it up a little bit. We haven't made the set list yet tonight. Do you want to make it?
Sure.
It's your turn.
Alex on the set list. All right, awesome.
All set list questions to Alex.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of being out on tour and such, I understand you've had kind of a lot going on. A few of you came down with COVID at one point, had to postpone some things, cancel other things. It's been quite a journey. But aside from musically, when you're out and about on tour, if you have a little bit of downtime, if you're say getting over a sickness or something like that, what do you guys like to do when that's going on? Other than
we go bowling a lot.
Yeah, we do go bowling.
You go bowling?
I pretty much don't bowl unless I'm on tour. But
None of us are particularly any good.
I heard that if you can bowl over your IQ, you're doing okay.
I don't know what my IQ is.
Are you guys doing all right?
I don't know.
No, okay. We're really excited to have you here playing the KINK Live Lounge, of course, and the latest album, Lucifer on the Sofa, which was made, of course, during the pandemic. Album came out a few months ago, but I'm curious, when you go into an album like that, was there, there's certain anxiety going sort of all around the globe, if you will, just in general. Were you guys a little anxious going into making that album as compared to, say, Hot Thoughts before that? Did you go about it differently?
We weren't anxious about it. We started the record pre-pandemic and kind of went after it with the idea of us all kind of moving to Austin. I moved back from LA. He moved there for the first time, and just sort of having fun with making a record, kind of doing it at a slower pace and just, go experience some of the city and then take that energy and go right with it. The last couple records before that we made in isolation. So
gotcha.
That was the idea.
You talk about moving to Austin. Britt, as we know, you spent some time right here in Portland.
Yep.
Then you were in LA for a time. Then you moved back to Austin. You're back in Portland now. It's great to see you again. Are there certain things that you miss about Portland? Like anytime you come back here, is there sort of a go-to kind of thing for you personally?
Well, it's been Kenny and Zook's. I go have the pastrami hash, but I went there yesterday. They don't have it anymore.
Oh,
they do not have it. Yeah, but no, there's a lot of great stuff. I love the city.
Yeah.
The Electric Castle is still here, so as far as I know. Last time I was here, it's a video game place where...
Oh, all right. So you can play like vintage video games, things like Joust and Defender and Pac-Man and all that good stuff?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. They still take quarters and things like that, or do you have to bet?
They give you a big bag of...
It's like the special tokens now for that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's interesting, like video arcades, I mean, you and I are about the same age, so we were going to like arcades, probably at the same time, where you'd line up the quarters on the machine and you call next on something, and then like the big burly dude ignores you, you know what I'm talking about? That kind of thing. Okay, so I'm glad that we see eye to eye on the video game. Alex, you moved to Austin, where did you move from to come to Austin?
From Los Angeles.
Okay, so you guys were both in LA together for a time then?
Yeah.
I was sort of joking with Britt before coming out here that it was a lot of people move to LA and then move out of LA, but I didn't want to insult you, Alex, if you're from...
It's my hometown.
Oh, all right. LA's great, man. It's there's some cool things going on in LA.
It's a little bit of backtracking there.
Yeah. It's not like when the Lakers come to town and play the Blazers, we're okay with that. It's usually. So with regard to the album and putting that together, it was like you said, it was started before the pandemic. But Britt, when I last talked, and I had to look this up, when I last talked to you, it was when Ga 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 had just come out. It was the summer of 2007, something like that, right? Yeah. And you haven't changed a bit, by the way. You look amazing. in the past 15
thanks,
years.
Gustav.
Yeah. If you were to sort of looking back over the time since that album came out, it's been 15 years. How have you seen Spoon as a band sort of progress or evolve in that time, if you will?
We got some better musicians in the band. I mean, this guy was not
Nice.
around for Gaga,
Applause for
Gaga,
Alex, a
Gaga.
better musician. Cool.
I don't know. It's really hard for me to assess that. You have any ideas? How we changed?
That was my answer. I mean, I met you, right? That's
Yeah. I think that there was a period where, especially right after Gaga, 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 where I think we kind of lost the plot for a second, and we're not having fun with it. And I think when we did come back together after the break, we took a break. I started a band with this guy. When we got back together, it was always, Jim and I just said it has to be fun.
Sure.
We have to have a good time, and now we do. We really do have a great time on stage, and I love touring, and we just make sure that that's a big part of it.
Your bowling game's improved.
Right.
That's
We
good.
never used to bowl.
Once again, to the new album Lucifer on the Sofa, which is out right now, I noticed, and I listened to it too, and it's a great song. You have a song called On the Radio. And at first I saw the title, I'm like, well, that's an obvious ploy to get the song on the radio because, it's called On the Radio. But the song itself, it's great because it's about listening to the radio.
Yeah.
Tell me how you came up with the idea for that.
Well, that song's kind of about me being a little kid in Temple, Texas, a small town where I spent a lot of time alone, and I had this little clock radio. Once I got that clock radio in my room, I kind of felt a lot less lonely, and I just knew, just hearing people talk on the radio and just knowing that there was a world that existed outside that room.
Sure.
It just it made me feel good. Felt like people were talking to me on the radio.
That's the whole idea behind it. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. That's awesome. I approve that. that's fantastic. One more question about Austin, and I'll let you guys get to it. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that on 101.9 KINK, all next week, we're going to be giving away tickets to Austin City Limits, which is, as you know, an
We're gonna be
amazing
there.
festival. You're going to be there.
Yeah.
Cool. So that answers one of my questions. You can see Spoon at Austin City Limits. You can also win tickets on 101.9 KINK. But if someone from Portland were going to visit Austin, what are your recommendations? What should we do? What should we go see, other than Spoon?
Huh? Oh, the Broken Spoke. Yeah, that's a good idea.
What's the Broken
I'm always
Spoke?
wary of telling people where to go because then my favorite places get taken over.
Oh.
But the Broken Spoke is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's like a legit honky tonk on the south side of town.
Nice.
Even though all around it now are condos, it's like surrounding this honky tonk. There's condos, and they just
Sure.
will not sell. And it hasn't changed. I doubt it's been updated or renovated or fixed since like the late '60s or something. This ceiling is falling in, but it's just a great
It adds character to it.
old
That's
school
good. Yeah.
honky tonk with a big dance floor. And,
Nice.
I love going there.
There's also, and the name escapes me now. There's a place that sells a whole bunch of hot sauces.
Like on 6th Street, like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It could be.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. I should have looked this up. But I remember going there, and they had all these huge warnings and disclaimers, like, we will provide milk to you. And they weren't joking. Like, there are some hot sauces where it could practically kill you if you don't
Right.
chase it down with some base substance or something
Right.
like that. So,
Said you
yeah, all right.
Give
well,
it a
that went
shot.
nowhere. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a hot sauce place in Austin. If you guys
give
get
it
the
a
chance.
shot. Did you have the hot sauce? Did you need the milk?
No, I was very low key about the hot sauce. I was like, if it goes above, 8 billion lumens or however they measure it, I'm not gonna try it. So it's my stomach just can't take
Lots
it.
of good hot sauce.
Lots of good hot sauce in Austin.
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
that's good.
They
That's
just had
good.
a hot sauce festival like last weekend. So yeah,
All right.
you
Good
know
to
of what you speak.
Other than the name of the place that I was trying to reference, but thanks for that, Britt. Britt, Alex from Spoon. It's great to see you guys here.
See you. Thanks
Super
for having
appreciate you coming to play. So once again, let's hear it for Spoon, everybody.